story in the Bible that quietly disturbs and deeply challenges. It's not hidden in a footnote. It's not buried in obscure language. It's right there in Genesis 19, the story of Lot, a man called righteous, but his actions, his choices, his silence, all raise questions. This isn't just about history. It's about what we call moral, what we call godly, and whether we still mean the same thing today. Let's begin in Sodom, a city described in Scripture as filled with evil, violent, unjust, hopeless. Two travelers, angels in disguise, arrive at the gates. Lot invites them into his home, offering shelter and food. But then, night falls. A crowd gathers outside his house. Men demand that Lot hand over his guests. What happens next is jarring. Lot steps outside, and instead of confronting evil, he offers his daughters. Behold, now I have 2 daughters who have not known a man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out to you. That's Genesis 19:8. His own daughters, offered to a violent crowd to protect strangers. There's no mention of his daughter's reaction, no moral commentary, no divine rebuke, just silence. Some say this was ancient hospitality. Others say it reflects a time when women had few rights. But still, Lot is called righteous. Righteous by what standard? Then the judgment begins. The visitors reveal themselves as angels. They strike the crowd with blindness. They command Lot to flee with his family. And from the sky, fire falls. The cities burn. All life gone. Every man, every woman, every child. Some say this was deserved, but others ask, was this justice or annihilation? Could a truly moral God not find another way? As they flee, Lot's wife looks back, and in a moment, she becomes a pillar of salt. For what? Curiosity? Grief? A human moment of hesitation? Some say she disobeyed. Others say the punishment doesn't fit the moment. Lot continues on into the mountains. He hides with his 2 daughters. The cities are gone. The world as they knew it has ended. What happens next is rarely taught in Sunday school. The daughters, believing no one else remains, make a decision. Genesis says they give Lot wine until he cannot perceive. They lie with him on 2 consecutive nights. Both become pregnant, and still there is no divine commentary, no punishment, no intervention, no guidance, just silence. For some, this part of the story is an origin myth. Moab and Ammon, 2 nations that would later become enemies of Israel. But morally, what are we left with? Why is Lot spared? Why is he praised? Is silence in the Bible approval or simply absence? Scholars have tried to explain all this. Some say Lot was under extreme pressure, that these were survival decisions, that cultural values were different. Others ask a harder question. If God can speak the world into existence, why say nothing here? Is righteousness just about obedience, or does it require compassion, justice, mercy? Lot's story forces us to reflect on uncomfortable truths. Stories can shape morality, but they can also reflect the brokenness of their time. Should we excuse what's written, or should we challenge it? Should we accept silence, or speak where Scripture does not? This isn't about rewriting history. It's about understanding it and asking, what kind of moral example are we willing to follow? Lot's story has been called sacred, but sacred doesn't mean unquestionable. It means worthy of thought, worthy of reflection, and yes, worthy of critique. ask better questions, because maybe that's where real faith begins.